Welcome back to the Pikmin. We are on sub-level 8 of the Cavern of Chaos. This is in the last area, the fall area of Pikmin 2. We're going to, as best we can, try not to lose any more Pikmin. Or if we do lose them, we're going to try to lose very minimal Pikmin. Because if I lose too many Pikmin, whether that be red or blue or yellow or even white and purple, it's going to cost me a couple days worth of grinding. Well, we'll say a day's worth of grinding to get them back on schedule. That's annoying. Don't kick your mouse when you're trying to record. It's bad for your recording. Because it ends up clicking out of the program you're doing your recording in, and then it pauses the recording briefly, but not enough that it affects your voiceovering thing. You have to keep going. So, fun story for everyone that no one probably ultimately cares about this, but I've been getting a hankering to rewatching certain animated shows that I own on DVD. One of them is American Dad. I'm very, very tempted to rewatch American Dad from season 1, episode 1 onward. And I'm very tempted to do the same thing with South Park as well. Where I have I wouldn't say I have all the seasons on DVD, but I have a good chunk of those shows on DVD now. Of course, that's hard to say though, because between when DVDs were, say, a little bit more popular, I basically, the next season of South Park would come out, and I would get it for either my birthday or Christmas. And that's how I would keep up with it, because they would have a yearly or seasonal release of whatever episodes were a year or 2 or 3 years old. And when American Dad left for TBS, I got the following season, whatever that is, we'll just say season 9. Or season 8 or 7 or whatever. And then at that point I kind of stopped paying attention to the show. I'm not going to say I completely gave up on watching American Dad, but PBS does this thing that absolutely irritates the fucking shit out of me. And other networks do it as well. You have a show that you know is going to be a 20 to 22 minute show, and you just have to squeeze that extra commercials in there. So instead of going to break, and I've complained about this before in other cases, instead of going to break as the show begins, after the title sequence ends, okay, and after the theme song, the title theme song has gone through its thing, you've gone to, say, commercials either before the show starts or right after the theme song ends, okay? Then you should do one more commercial break smack dab in the middle of the episode, and then you should have the rest of the episode play out. That is how commercials should work in my belief, okay? Because the more times you go to commercials, the more you're breaking up the story. The more you break up the story, the harder it is to pay attention, follow, and be interested in that storyline. And adults, I've said this before, Adult Swim does it super perfect, where they have the, and I don't know if it's because they're on late at night and only dumb college students, stoner, loser, jobless freak people who work afternoon shift have the time to stay up and watch, shows that are coming on at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. But hear me out when I say this. They have the best commercial structure. They have commercials before the show starts. They have a commercial break smack dab in the middle, depending on where it feels appropriate to take a commercial break. And then they have a commercial break between this show and the next show, which again, like I said, I've said this in other episodes. You have a commercial break, stay at the hour mark between the previous show and the current show. You come back, say at 2, 3, 4, or 5 after, and you start the next show. Okay? So the next show starts. It runs for 15 minutes or 12 minutes or whatever, half of whatever the episode is. Okay? And then you go to commercial break in the middle of the show. And then you come back and you run the rest of the episode. And then at the end of that episode, you have commercial break between, say, we'll say show 1 and show 2. Or in the case, and we'll talk about the shows that I'm talking about, even though they're not on the same network. You would have reruns of American Dad. You have a break in the middle, and then at the end of American Dad, you would have another set of commercials. You would start the episode of South Park. Halfway through South Park, you would have a commercial break, and then when South Park ended, and the next show where it was to begin, you would have another commercial break between those two shows. I find the most ideal way to watch a show, because yes, maybe you need to get up and get a drink, or piss, or something, take a big shit. I don't know. Or maybe you know you need to get up and talk, look at your kids, read them a bedtime story. I don't know. You need a break in there somewhere. I get that. As much as we like to just binge, do the Netflix thing where there are no commercials and you just binge watch the show and never have to worry about a commercial break. I understand, for better or worse, cable has decided that, despite the fact that audiences hate watching commercials, and when you give them the opportunity to fast forward through them, they will fast forward through. They'll pause the show, go fucking take a dump, come back, fast forward through the commercial breaks, so they do not have to watch any commercials. Despite that fact, commercials, for some reason, are not worth a lot. If a show takes, say a show costs $1 million. I want to say $1 million an episode. That's probably too much. I don't know. But say a show costs $1 million an episode, okay? To do, okay? That means over the course of, say, 13 to 20 episodes, you have to have enough commercial breaks to pay for that show. You have to have enough eyeballs watching that makes the commercial break make sense. What irritates me about that, though, is you have a really popular show, okay? I don't know how commercials work. Like, for instance, if you have, I guess NCIS, a show that just gets eyeballs upon eyeballs upon eyeballs. It doesn't matter what episode they're talking about. It doesn't matter. They get eyeballs like crazy. And then you have a show that's just starting out that might not get the viewer ratings that you're expecting. And you're gonna view the same commercials on each of those shows. Is there a flat rate? Is there a rate based on the ratings of that show? Like, for instance, if I see an ad for soap on, say, a show like NCIS, and I watch that, and there's a million people say watch that episode, okay? Does that commercial pay out more to the network if 1 million people are watching it versus, say, 1,000 people watching it? Or do they just basically pay the network a flat amount to run the ad so many times? And in which case, I feel like if you're an American TV producer, network, what have you, I would charge out the absolute. If I could, I would charge absolute out their nostrils as much money as you can give me. A 30-second Super Bowl ad costs how many millions of dollars? And people still pay for it. Why? Because they know the most eyeballs are watching it. I have a 25 minute episode I want to do every week, okay? Or say 20 times a year. And you're gonna dictate that I gotta take 3 commercial breaks instead of 1 or 2. Fuck you. When I have the power, like when you have a popular show like, I don't know, Friends, Seinfeld, The Big Bang Theory. Those commercial breaks should have to pay out their nostrils. It should just be the most. I understand their syndication, so they're not going to pay as much. But I'm talking about when those shows were at their peak. You should be, as an advertising company, you should have to pay out the nostril to be able to have your advertisement on at the same time as a new episode of Seinfeld is coming out. Because you know you're going to get the rating, or you're expecting to get the rating. And so you expect, because you're going to get 1,000 or 100,000 or 1,000,000 people watching these episodes, that you're going to have, you have to be, there has to be a reciprocal on that, you know, of how much money those networks are making. Yeah. What the fuck is this thing? Like a bobblehead, but not really. Wiggling noggin. Yeah, this is one of those things that you see in like taxis in like New York or something. You know, where you get the hula dancer or the bobblehead or the pop-up Jesus. You know, little Jesus. Pop up the dashboard and give it a scratch over my eye. Bernard Shapiro got me $1.5 billion. Oh, I miss you, Richard Jenny. Your comedy was probably not great after you've watched one or two. Seen your show like once, you probably have seen all of his jokes, but like, I don't know. I thought he was brilliant. I'm going to kill you, that's what we're gonna do, that's the plan. Grab everybody and murderize this flying guy. Here's one of my favorite things in the whole world, okay? And I know this is going to be a little weird to say, but, and I've mentioned this probably in an earlier episode, I'm not a cigarette smoker, but I've complained about how in the past I've noticed that a lot of people who are addicted to cigarettes, not really the nicotine, well, I wouldn't say it's not the nicotine, I've never been a smoker so I don't actually know, but in a lot of cases it seems like people that I've seen is not the fact that, okay, I'm gonna have a cigarette and I'm gonna smoke it and then I'm gonna feel calm or subdued or whatever nicotine gives you that makes you feel good. Okay. So this is I guess we're gonna have to distract ourselves a little bit. The final floor. Let's see what's in store for us down here on the final floor. Clearly a boss of some sort. I'm not sure what the boss is gonna be though. He's probably, if I had to guess, he's gonna be in the middle. Oh good, he just smushed one of my Pikmin. We're off to a great start. Got some sort of crawdaddy fish here with a hard shell skin. Alright, you cannot. Oh, he's gonna roll. He's gonna roll. I just lost half my Pikmin. Great. A little less than half my Pikmin there. I have a pretty good idea of how to defeat him now. This is a classic Zelda boss, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta get him to roll into the wall. And by having him roll into the wall, he'll probably flip over. Ooh, that was close. So if you stay close to the wall, he should bang into it. Oh, that's not great. Oh, yep. Big red tummy thing says, glowing tummy says, this equal my weak spot. Oh, I just lost some more Pikmin, I think. I don't need a ton of Pikmin to defeat him, though. One of the things I very much learned about playing Pikmin is having 100 Pikmin or having, say, 40 or say 30 Pikmin doesn't really make much difference. You're just as likely to, because as you can see, as I throw them, they're doing damage, and I don't necessarily get all of my Pikmin off before he flips his ass back over. But like I said, this shouldn't be too hard to basically lead him into the wall here. So this shouldn't, like I said, shouldn't be too difficult. My big thing is I'm running out of Pikmin because he keeps rolling over on top of them. And the rocks are not making it any better for me either. Yeah, so I just lost 3 more there. But I think he's dead now. If he's not dead now, he would be dead in another round. And it looks like I have just enough to pick up the item, the important item. I need 12 Pikmin. And if I have any purples, that means that they're going to be able to pick up even... Yeah, I have purples. So they're going to be able to pick up even a greater load than that. I need 20 to move him. And I have 21 move. Great. So that's just enough to move him. Not that he's the most important thing on the floor. I just like to turn him into monies. And then we'll come back and we'll get... Is this a baby head? Is this a baby doll head? Please tell me this is not a baby doll head. This is a baby doll head, isn't it? I can tell because it's bald and has ears. This is going to be one of them gross baby dolls that as you lean them on their back, their eyes close. And as you lift them up, they can sit them up straight. Their eyeballs open. Just the creepiest shit ever. Yep. You can move the baby doll head. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to go wait over here, far away from the baby doll head, so that once we're done here, we're just going to leave this final floor and go home. Oh, that is just the creepiest shit ever. Human things that don't look quite right are like some of the creepiest shit ever. Clowns, bald baby doll heads. Are just some of the creepiest shit. Have you ever seen a baby with a bridge and a nose so thin that it looks like it had plastic surgery right out of the womb? Or really, really long, ungodly long eyelash. Anywho, we've completed the Cave of Chaos, if you will. And we will move on to other caves in the Wistful Wild, as well as I think I left one of the caves uncompleted in the last area as well. So if you see me cutting around any of that, that's because I don't want to spend a whole episode talking to you guys, even though I love talking to basically nobody. Not that you're nobody, whoever's listening to this, but these episodes do not do well on YouTube, at least initially. What am I thinking of? I don't know. Oh, you? Fuck you. Please die. Alright, all water. Great. That guy's gonna die because they're not watered guys. Great. So I guess we're just gonna have to ignore the fact that you exist, at least for a minute. At least until I go back to home base. Pick up some on... Oh, there's a water thing over there that I need to do. Great. Alright, well I guess the rest of today's plan is pretty well set for me. I'm gonna try to grab some water Pikmin. As in blue Pikmin. We're gonna take that wall down. I'm gonna send my red Pikmin back into red Pikmin holding facility thing. I'll grab a bunch of blue Pikmin. We'll take down the wall. Maybe we'll kill the stupid half animal, half robot thing that shoots bombs out of its nose. Like a jackass. In fact, because he's hanging around so much, I may have to kill him first. Oh, there's a path up here. Oh, I did not know that. I'm stupid. Sorry, I'm stupid. I don't know any better. As he proceeds to try to kill all my Pikmin. Alright, well, someone needs to die now. You better not hit the Pikmin I left up on that bridge there. I'll be pissed. Oh, he's going after him. I'm gonna fucking murder you. I'm guessing whoever made this, came up with the concept for this game was just like, okay, we made some really, really, really disturbing looking characters in the first game, and we make them look even more disturbing in the next game. And whoever the art director is, or the creative designer on this is like, yeah, I can definitely up the creepiness without making it out and out horror material. I need more blue Pikmin. It's fine. Plan is to pull them around the side and have them attack the gate from the other side so they can't be attacked by this fucker. However, I may just do this straight up. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this straight up. Fuck it. We'll throw a little Pikmin out, we'll bait you out, pull them back, kill you, take down the gate. Classic. Alright, you're dead now. Go rot in hell. I'll send my blue Pikmin back if we have time to turn you into more blue Pikmin. I thought there were some blue Pikmin under here. They're clearly not. Just an aberration. Or it just looks like that, I guess. I don't know. That weight over there cost 1,000 weight, which means I have to have 100 purple Pikmin in order to lift it. Because yellow / blue / red Pikmin equal 1 Pikmin. And to get to 100, you'd have to have 100 Pikmin. To get to 1,000, you'd have to have 100 purple Pikmin. Each Pikmin's worth 10. So 10 would be 100. And 100 would be 1,000. Alright, we're gonna pick you up, send you back. Pick up this, here. Get rid of this fancy here. I need more blue Pikmin. I feel comfortable when I have, like, about 100 of each Pikmin color. And I say that because if I wanted to run strictly blue, I could run strictly blue or red or yellow. And at the same time, if I wanted to balance them, I would have enough to do 3 full runs if it ate all of my Pikmin. I mean, literally, 3 full runs would be roughly 99 of each Pikmin type. Because each one, if you take a third of each, you have 99. So 99, 99, 99. And then because it's also divisible by 3, in each run you'd have either 34 red, blue, or yellow Pikmin. So over the course of 3 runs you would lose a total of 100 of each color, even though you're balanced on each one of them. So, yep, we're going to continue to fight these things. I've got all blue Pikmin, which is good against that guy because he's shooting water out of his snoot. Of course, we know what's going to happen, of course. Once we've defeated each one of these little spider, milk cocoon looking things, they're like a cocoon. I imagine they're more like a cocoon. As soon as they're defeated, plants are going to come back. And when the plants come back, they're going to start sprouting berries. And when the berries come back, that means that the stupid fucking caterpillars are going to come back, and I'm going to have to murder them. Like this guy. Hi, Mr. Caterpillar. You're going to get murdered. Because I'm not interested in getting these berries, but I am interested in killing you. You're dead. You're going to be dead here in a second too, as soon as I punch you. Did you escape? He escaped just barely. What an ass. Alright, I need to turn some enemies into Pikmin. I need to get rid of this last cocoon thingy. And yeah. This is an electric gate, so I can't use the electric gate right now. You can die though. That's always nice. I don't mind killing you guys. You know, you feel like, you know, man, I really want to kill these guys. It's like, yeah, come on. We're built for making your life miserable. So yeah, I mean, we deserve death. Before I finish this day, we got to make sure that we, more than taking these bugs back to create more blue Pikmin, I need to make sure that we drain this this pond here, which should not take too long, I don't think, once they finish off this cocoon. But I still want to make sure this gets done. Great, I'm running out of time now. Great. What does he do? He drops a bunch of blue pucks, which would be super good if I had more time to pull them back to my base. But I don't have time. Also wondering if this was not supposed to be my original landing area, as it seems to look like each one of the circles is also here, but they put plants here instead. I guess because maybe it was too centrally located amongst the other caves that I'm trying to get to. They wanted to make it a little bit harder to get to some of the caves, I guess. Alright, I actually need to run back to the base because all of my other Pikmin are there. So you fuckers need to keep up. Or I guess I could split off the team. Yeah, almost there. Alright, we basically did it. I've lost 5 Pikmin somewhere. Oh well. Alright, well, we'll cut the episode here. When we come back, we've got the electric fence to take on. Probably another cave beyond the electric fence. Plus there's the cave from the last previous area that needs to be done. And this is Louie's grandma. Keep sending the same message about sending more food, because she hasn't heard from him in a while. So I hope you guys all have a good one until I see you next.